Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, another day and another very slow, aggravating, frustratingly annoying trickle marketing release of some of the Aether Revolt spoilers. Do they really still think that this generates hype or something? I mean, come on. I have better things to do with my time than, let's hit refresh 50 times and see if I can see a new release. Oh boy, one more card, woo. You know why people are excited about Aether Revolt cards? Because we want to see all of them. Not some of them, all of them. So the fact that potentially this spoiler season is going to be like 3 weeks longer than even the other agonizingly slow, annoying, oh god, seriously, I hate their marketing tactic for this. I hate it. I cannot stand their, here's 3 more cards, wait till tomorrow. Oh, here's 2 more cards. Here's 1 more card. Here's 4 more cards. You think if I woke up every damn day and it was my birthday that I would still give a crap 3 weeks later? Oh my god, at least we've got some kind of cool cards to look at. And then there's some massive disappointments, and the whole damn thing is overshadowed by the fact that Wizards keep screwing up every single set. First off, we got Aether Revolution. That's Chandra's mom, by the way. Looks kind of like the Bride of Frankenstein. Probably should have taken a second check in that mirror before she left the house. Last time I saw her, and I didn't read the storyline, so I'm literally just going off the cards, she was getting arrested by the consulate. So yeah, she's pissed, and now there's a card called Aether Revolution. Kind of cool. It says whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Aether Revolution deal 3 damage to him or her. How dare they imply there's only 2 pronouns to refer to the genders. Just kidding, at least they haven't completely lost it, my god. Oh, I'm halfway in between a male and female, so I made up a new pronoun and now you legally have to use it. Yeah, can I just save time and call you mentally disturbed? Seriously, people, seriously. So this card, I mean, it isn't by itself great. It might work in a deck where it has like a ton of synergy and then it works great, which I suspect. But as it sits, just for casting a 4 or 5 cost artifact creature that's kind of good, we'll say, it's not great. So a 5 cost artifact, 5/5 creature dies. Now instead of the graveyard, it goes back to your hand and then you still have to pay for it again. So it kind of makes it unkillable, but it's so much worse than Undying and Persist, which even that's not that popular and even like modern. So the mechanic is just pretty weak. Plus, if you do some kind of loop where it's like an ETB effect, they're just going to pay 3 life and put it in the graveyard. And then what do you do? But if it's kind of late game, if you're top decking and you're just pulling garbage like mountains and stuff, they blow up an artifact, go straight back to your hand, boom, cast it next turn. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have haste, but it's at least something. But if this is just an insurance policy, I mean, the card itself, take it out of your deck and just put in another mid-size artifact. So as it sits, I think the card's crap, but it might work with like a heavy ETB effect, which is really big right now. You got Panharmonicon on the field, great. Or they blow up Panharmonicon and, there you go. You just bring it right back to your hand and recast it. So, I mean, it's kind of like almost like a red bounce pack to hand in case of emergency, which is obviously a blue tactic. So it might be good. Next up, we've got Battle at the Bridge. This card's kind of cool. It outlines a mechanic that's complete garbage, though. Basically, anything that costs 1 black plus X is usually pretty freaking awesome. Plus, it's a sorcery, which means they had to kind of power it down to not make it an instant. Plus, it's a rare. Lot going for it. It has a new little mechanic called Improvise. We'll get back to that, but what the spell actually does is target creature gets -X until end of turn. You gain X life. This is more than twice as good as the card Deathwind, although I believe that was an instant. This makes black-white servos a thing, because Improvise states, your artifacts can help cast the spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1 generic mana. So that goes right into the generic X cost, which is cool. The spell could quite literally cost 1, which is really, really awesome. Now, this is like a garbage version of Convoke, because Convoke is any creature and the color matches their mana cost. And this is also kind of a garbage version of like Affinity for artifacts, or like, I'd say Metalcraft is a little different than that, though. It's pretty much just Affinity for artifacts. Except that you have to tap them. Now, it's creatures and non-creatures, so you could debatably say it's better than Convoke in certain decks. So I think overall it's really, really, really strong. I mean, the life gain means that if you're playing black-white servos, this card is perfect. And black-white servos is actually moderately okay right now. So you got like 6 servos on the battlefield. You can -6, -6 their biggest threat, gain 6 life, and then maybe that extra life will make it so you don't have to keep chump blocking with your servos against some gigantic horrific creature, because 1, it's dead, and 2, you have life to spare for the secondary attackers. So this just looks like a fantastic card. Improvised though, I mean, repetitive, unexciting, we've seen it before, whatever, but if you're playing an artifact deck, I'm sure you'll think it's lovely. Plus vehicles are artifacts. Next up, we've got Disallow, which is basically the second most powerful counterspell in all of Modern as of right now. If you think number 1 is Remand, I'm going to slap you through the screen. Obviously, it's Deprive. Counter any spell for 2, who gives a crap what the rest of the card says. Now, everybody's been saying that they should print Counterspell, which is cancel anything for 2, period, in Modern. Or like in Standard. I'm not sure how they would get it in Modern, since Modern Masters is only reprints, but I don't know, they could, put it in a Commander deck maybe, I don't know. They basically have to run it through Standard, and honestly, paying 1 less than cancel for a cancel, is it the end of the world? No, not really. It would make blue actually a playable color in Modern for once. People just use it to scry, that's stupid, scry and draw. Nah, it's counterspells, that's what blue does. Cancel costs too damn much, and negate is just like a sideboard card though, so, blue's kind of dead in Modern. With this card though, we might have something, because it has a cast cost exactly the same as cancel, but is way, 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 way better. First, counter any target spell. There you go. Second, counter any activated ability that you want to target, or counter a triggered ability, so one of the 3, your choice. That's insane, that's cancel on steroids. Now, instead of actually printing Counterspell, they've been trying to kind of make improved versions of Cancel for a while now. You've got Counter Target Spell for 3 as an instant, exile the spell. Counter Target Spell for 3, scry. Stuff like that, where they give you just a little bit of a bonus. Nothing too special, though. Well, now you've got, counter a spell or 2 different types of abilities. Like, that's crazy. If you're not understanding the power of this card... Okay, somebody says, I'm going to pay 1 life and activate my fetch land's ability to sacrifice itself and go get something. Well, guess what? You cast this in response, their fetch land goes straight to the graveyard, and they get nothing. Paying 3 mana in blue to just stop whatever the hell your opponent just did, regardless of what it is, there you go. And yeah, there's some stuff this doesn't stop. It doesn't stop mana abilities. I don't think it'll stop Planeswalker abilities, because those aren't necessarily considered activated abilities, I think. If you're somehow still not convinced, the card Trickbind is typically found only in sideboards in Modern, and it costs like, I think, 10 or 15 bucks a copy. So will this be powerful in Modern? Will people start dropping something like this into their decks? I think so. It'll take a while because they're all stupid net decking sheep who can't think for themselves, but after a while, when they pull their heads out of their butts, they'll finally realize that Disallow is actually good. Unfortunately, since this is now one of the most powerful counterspells ever printed, they decided to put it as rare rarity. Oops. So you're never going to be able to afford 4 of them, let alone 16 of them for all your decks. So that's nice. Thanks, Wizards. That was helpful. That's their completely dickish, unfair, selfish way to up the EV of a box to, print a card that's clearly for Modern. And obviously sought after in Standard as well. Have it hit like 20 bucks, and then everybody gets excited. Ooh, a box is worth $170. Yeah, because you can't afford the cards you need. Oh, sweet. I just got a text that those stupid Chinese people are trying to rip me off on eBay just got screwed over by the U.S. Postal Service. If you haven't been following that on Twitter, I might make a whole video about that. So yeah, Disallow, I love it. I absolutely love it. I hate that I'm never going to be able to afford it. The price is never going to go down. And that sucks, but hopefully I can just open 4 and keep them, which basically is the same as buying it, because either one loses me the same amount of money. Oh, and then there's a little fact that I ordered practically nothing from Aether Revolt because Wizards is incapable of printing a set that's worth money. Oh, and when they make it 184 cards, okay, then they're not even trying. Now that actually could help the supply of this card, except that I don't think people are also continuing to over-open to get masterpieces. I don't think anybody's doing that. I don't think they did it for Kaladesh. Kaladesh just sucked. All the cards weren't worth a damn thing, and just nobody wanted anything because nothing was all that powerful, basically, except for Smuggler's Copter. So we'll have to see what happens to it, but yeah, I mean, if you want to play with it, and sell it later, you could probably sell it to a modern player for close to the same price as the week of release. Now, the last card pisses me off. Big surprise. It costs 5, it's a sorcery, it's 3 color, it's already useless and unplayable, but I'll read it anyway. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, then discards a card. You return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand, then draw a card. So you do 2 things to screw them over, and then you help yourself 2 ways. Perfectly appropriate sorcery for, 5 cost. 3 colors though, so your whole deck has to be built around this one card. It's just stupid, it's never going to happen. Here's the kicker though. You could just self-mill it into your graveyard and then have the graveyard ability go off, which is when you cast a Bolus Planeswalker spell, exile Dark Intimations. Is that what it says? Yeah, Intimations. I guarantee everybody's going to say Intimidations. Anyway, exile it from your graveyard. That Planeswalker enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it. There is quite literally a better way to do that in Standard right now. So this card is just completely pointless, but what it tells us is there might be a, quote, Bolus Planeswalker, I wonder what that might be, in Standard a little bit earlier than we intend. The artwork tells us absolutely nothing. But as far as we know from the spoilers, Nicol Bolas is not going to be in anything other than Amonkhet. I mean, they didn't say he's not, but they did say he's going to be in that set. If he shows up to Kaladesh and just starts wrecking stuff, whatever, great. Problem is, what happened with Ugin last time around? Stupid frickin' douchebag Dick Sarkhan went back in time and saved Ugin's life so we could just enjoy his presence even more. He completely ruined Standard. That card was OP as balls and was pissing me off for the entire time it was legal. Hey, Sarkhan, why don't you go back in time and save Elspeth, too? Because I just haven't had enough of her OP garbage yet, either. Her frickin' 3 soldier tokens or whatever. What a dick. Anyway, Ugin was OP as balls and he ruined Standard. I wonder what they're going to do with Nicol Bolas, so I'm already not looking forward to Amonkhet. So what does he do? Probably frickin' shows up in Kaladesh. And what does he bring with him? 3 color decks, because, that went over so well in Khans of Tarkir. That totally didn't make decks cost $1,000 and make everybody quit Standard. Hell, I stopped playing Standard during Tarkir. Now, in the past, they printed, Heartfire Bow or something like that, and the card itself, the text, referred to a card that had not been released yet. It said, when whatever something happens, whatever, go fetch this card, or Vial of Dragonfire. And people are like, Vial of Dragonfire, that isn't a card that exists. So it referenced a card by name that hadn't been printed yet. I really can't think of any other time that happened other than that whole time-shifted, time-traveling crap. And that's debatable. That's a stretch. So to refer to Nicol Bolas by name, although I guess Nicol is like a title or something? Because is his name just Bolas? Is Nicol like Mr.? Is it his sister, Nicol Bolas? Or Shaniqua Bolas? Nobody knows. No, it's Nicol Bolas, we know. So yeah, maybe they're referring to the next set, but they tend to keep all references to future cards in all one example that they've ever had to the block that it's in. So we'd be referring to a completely different plane, completely different block. That's weird as hell, so we're probably going to get a Nicol Bolas. Great, sounds like fun, can't wait. Sure, it's another Ugin. Now, if you look at the only other time he's been printed, he cost 8, with 4 of them being 3 different colors, so he was basically completely unplayable. But his 3 abilities were win the game, and win the game. So if you got him out, you did tend to win the game. So, basically, Ugin. Like Ugin's second ability was your opponent flips the table. I mean, come on. So if they keep him to some 8 cost, triple color, whatever, it's never going to happen. And the Coco for Planeswalkers costs like 7, I think. So I don't think anybody will actually be playing him, which is potentially the saving grace. But they've been making all-powerful cards at least vaguely playable lately. So maybe they'll cut him down to like 5 or 6 mana, and somebody will actually be able to get him out with ramp and color fixing. That would suck considering how powerful he was last time. Maybe they learned their lesson from Ugin completely ruining the game, costing way the hell too much and dominating every single deck. But I feel like no, considering this is Wizards of the Coast we're talking about. So that was nice of them to piss everybody off and make us worry about the state of standard again with just the second freaking list of spoilers. Plus, the improvised mechanic looks like crap, Kaladesh wasn't worth anything, and Aether Revolt is 184 cards. Do they really expect us to get excited about what we know so far? The set's going to be worthless, and it's probably just going to build a bunch of more decks that are overpowered that piss people off. That's my little Psychic Friends hotline prediction for y'all, no charge. So for now, those are the only 4 leaks we got that are new, because Wizards thinks people enjoy seeing cards 4 at a time. They don't. Nobody does. All they're doing is just pissing people off. I'm excited about Disallow. It is quite literally a better version of Summary Dismissal, more accurate, more tactical, more powerful, and one cheaper. So that's cool. I mean, it's completely ruined by the fact that nobody's going to be able to afford the damn card, but, print it as a rare. That's what happens. So overall, I wish they'd just dump the whole damn list so we could read it and see what's going to be in Aether Revolt. That would be a true spoiler. Until then, I'm certainly not going to participate in their stupid nonsense about pretending to be super excited and just on the edge of my seat about every last little tidbit of information, which is a pretty good, accurate description of what size these leaks are. Give me a list of 50 cards or don't waste my time. I have better things to do with my life. My God, Wizards. I honestly hope somebody leaks the whole damn list on them. That would be really funny, because what has anybody ever said? Oh, I love this trickle marketing. I love seeing the cards 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. I mean, do they even research this stuff? Do they even put it in a damn survey? Whatever. Clearly the management at Wizards lives in their own little world. I mean, I think we all know that by now. So when we get more spoilers in a day or 2 or whatever, I'll see if I can muster up the give a crap attitude to even cover it. I mean, I get excited about building new decks, and I can't really do that with like 9 cards. So, yeah. I don't even need to ask, but is anybody else pissed off by their stupid method of releasing spoilers a couple at a time? Oh my God. The only thing more annoying is sending out like 20 cards to whoever kisses their butt the most. If you don't say anything bad about Wizards, or if you vaguely are interested in MTG and we think it'll get us views, we'll hand you a special release, make you feel special, and then have you literally do a paid sponsorship without the paid part. You could run an infomercial for Wizards in the game for us without us paying you. Woo! What an opportunity. Hey Wizards, if you're going to send me a spoiler, can you instead maybe shove it up your ass? I would definitely accept a full list of all the cards though. Get back to me on that, and I'll see y'all next video.